Hello there. Now you know I was playing Skyrim, an unmodded game, and I was trying to get the last few achievements. Well, I'm down to the last one now. This is the Ancient Dragon, which only spawns at level 78. The problem I've got right now is I don't usually play beyond level 50 at most because I get bored. I tend to focus. If I'm making a warrior, then it's only a warrior I play, not a warrior mage. If I'm doing something else, then I focus on that. So I've had to branch out a little bit in order to get the skills high. But still, I've focused on warriors, I've focused on enchanting, I've focused on smithing and thieving skills, and I'm at level 46 now, and I still need to pretty much add another 30 to that, or 20 odd to that, just to get near this where this ancient dragon would spawn so I can get that last achievement. Now, in order to make the switch from the warrior thief that I've been playing to a mage at this late stage of the game requires a little bit of thought. For instance, if I was to just go, right, I'm going to start using magic spells and kept all my armour, I would end up using swords and the magic would never get used and I'd never go up the levels. I have to force myself to start using magic. The magic, though, isn't powerful enough to kill most things at this level. So it's not good enough. So I had to make a compromise. The compromise I made is I kept some elements of that previous, character. Well, I say previous, it's the same character, but it's from the character's previous life, you might say. In this case, a couple of daggers and a bow, just in case the spells didn't work. That gave me the oomph I needed to kill anything that was too big for my boots. Say it's like a dragon or a high level drow, and still be able to use the magic elsewhere. But then I took training for the destruction spells and other things to get that up, because increasing the low level skills was how I'm going to reach level 78 to kill that dragon, that ancient dragon. That's how I'm going to do it. Right then, what you see here are the skills that my current character has at level 46. If you look carefully, you will notice he's got restoration there at 50, enchanting, smithing, heavy armour, two-handed weapons, one-handed weapons, archery, light armour, sneak, lockpicking and pickpocketing are all quite high. High-ish. If I continue to try and develop these, it'll be a while before I get to the level I need for that ancient dragon. So I need to start progressing in the other areas like illusion and conjuration. Now, regarding these spells here, these skills here, I didn't bother much with magic except for restoration. So when I did that Hermes Mora quest for his book, when I got the book, I added the points to magic to build them up. This gave me a boost to the magic that I needed. But as you can see, smithing and enchanting I'm quite high on. So the idea now is to build up the skill set of my skills so I can get level 78 ancient dragons. It'd take a long time to do unless I focus on these skills here, which I don't normally use. So that's what I'm currently doing. But first I had to make a character change, as in I use the same character but I had to change how I play completely. And you can't change how you play completely by keeping with the same equipment and the same armour. One of the things I had to do when I made the change from warrior to mage is get rid of the armour, so I was forced to play like a mage. So at level 46 it's very difficult to make the transition. So I cut myself some slack and I kept, so there's a couple of the weapons, mostly in this particular case two Daedric, well not two Daedric, but two fairly high level blades. So that allowed me to get some combat in using the blades when magic wasn't strong enough. The magic itself is quite weak, so I wasn't able to take on some of the bad guys with the spells. I ended up shooting wildlife, things like that, to try and get the levels up. It says whilst training up destruction and other skills. So to get where I needed to be, in order to get the levels I needed to get the ancient dragon, which I'm still aiming for, so I kept the bow, I kept some knives, and I basically got rid of everything else. After getting rid of the armour, I converted my character into a magic user. which I'm still getting the equipment for. It's still early days, so to speak. But if I was just to show you quickly the kind of stuff she's got now, I've got the backpack, which I don't need anymore because that's a carrying capacity thing, and mages don't really need a lot of carrying capacity. I've got the apprentice robes of destruction and alteration, which gives me boosts to both magic generation and destruction spells and alteration spells. Akintosh, again, it speeds up magic generation. Down here I've got says Nakarin legendary mask. It's legendary because I upgraded it. Remember, my character's good at smithing. That's plus 50 magicka and boosts to destruction and restoration spells, both of which I use. Then we get another 60 there for magicka, so it's quite powerful from a magicka point of view. It just needs the skills building up. Now remember, this is a warrior now becoming a mage in a level that's so high it's actually not quite powerful enough to do a good job on everything. This is why I keep some things back, like these two daggers here. The Skyrim dragon daggers. Basically, I made these. I crafted these. They do 41 damage each. I've also got the dragon bow, the Daedric bow. Basically, I call it dragon bow because I made it, so it's part of a set. But the daggers and the bows allows me to fight stronger opponents when the magic doesn't work. That is how I bridge the gap between warrior and magic user. Without that, this character would not be able to survive outside whilst it's building up its magic skills at this level. As you know, if we just go to skills here, these skills are all very fine, but if you tried building them up all evenly, you'd be a weak character at this level. You have to focus in a few areas, which I did. I focused on the warrior thing, so it's actually quite strong, but neglected the magic side because of the way I like to play. The other thing I needed to do is consider how to use the spells. Bear in mind the spells are too weak on their own to be any good against many things, so I had to consider the spells, and what I did was I mixed destruction with alteration. So alteration, stone flesh, gives me shield. Basically it's kind of a shield, and every time I'm hit, alteration goes up, and I'm casting fireballs and things like that with the other thing. So I'm running alteration and destruction up slowly. Also, if I wanted to mix it in a little bit, I can still use alteration to create a shield for myself, because remember, I'm not wearing armour anymore, I'm now wearing gowns like a mage would. But then I start mixing in, conjuration, conjuring a sword, that kind of thing. So now I've got 3 areas of magic I can run up in combat: alteration, destruction and conjuration. This helps boost my character where it's needed the most. There's still a few areas I could use to boost as well, like block, like illusion and things like that. So these are areas I can work on later or help boost, in other ways. But generally speaking, by running those 3 skills side by side, I'm able to get the character up the levels faster at level 46. And because I'm still carrying those knives and the bow, I'm not really suffering as a result of starting to become a mage in this late game. Eventually though, the blades are going to have to take a back seat, so the conjuration and the destruction take the lead. But as you can see from some of these videos, it's actually working quite well, and now I'm progressing. But the progress had slowed with the traditional warrior thing because they were nearing the maxing out their stats in some cases, or past the halfway point, which does slow things down. So I had to really make some drastic changes for this to work. And that, ladies and gents, is how I'm proceeding towards my legendary dragon achievement. Going from warrior to mage isn't normally what I would do. I would focus on one particular character or another and just stick with it. But to get that last achievement, this is what I have to do. Anyway, let us know what you think. Put your thoughts below, and I'll get back to you in the next video.